Look at me, I'm all dressed casually. I'm in my office. It's a new Pach-Attack. It's a beautiful day outside. Here we are, ready to answer your questions. From the forums, from Tuni Sosa. Hola, Mr. Pachter, greetings from Mexico. Hola, Tuni Sosa. ¿Cómo está? Do you think Xbox will keep Call of Duty DLC content first exclusivity for the next Call of Duty game, since it's being developed for next-gen consoles and PS4 sales are way higher than Xbox One? That is a great question. You know, I think that Microsoft will bid on it. And I think that Activision will sell it to them if they're the highest bidder. The reason that Microsoft kept getting exclusives and Sony kept not getting them is Microsoft paid Activision and Sony chose not to. Now, the difference at Sony now is that Rob Dyer was the head of third party. Rob Dyer was the guy negotiating with Activision back in the day when Activision sold to Microsoft. It's now Adam Boyes, who is my boy. Adam probably would like to. And the other big change is when Rob was there, he reported to Jack Tretton, and who knows what Jack said. Maybe now with, is it Sean Layden, who I haven't met yet, Sean Layden, the new guy, maybe with Adam Boyes and Sean Layden, they will decide it's worth bidding on. With a bigger install base for PS4, Sony theoretically has more money to spend to bid. Microsoft has more money than Sony, period, like by a lot. Not because of their gaming division, but because of their overall business. So Microsoft can pay whatever they want. I don't know the answer. Phil Spencer is the guy at Microsoft. He's the guy, and he runs Xbox. He also is in charge of studios, and he also really is that third-party guy. I don't think Phil wants to give anything up to Sony. I think Phil probably does bid. Great question. I don't know what's going to happen. It's coming soon. We're going to find out this year. But if I had to bet, I say Xbox keeps the exclusivity. Wow. We got a flashback question here, throwback question. From the forums, hey Cooley, why did you stop saying fellow babies in Pach-Attack? Just curious. I actually didn't know that I'd stopped, maybe because I've moved on, but I'll have to start doing that again. Wow. I didn't realize, have I not said it in a long time?
Yeah.
Hey fellow babies?
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I think it might be because I look at Rohan, and he's kind of got that embryo quality. You know, it looks like a little baby. And I look at Kyle, and Kyle just looks like such a budding young man. You know, so Rohan's kind of like a little baby. And also, Rohan is kind of petulant. And so I think Rohan cries a lot. Like Rohan would always make faces like, no, you can't do this. So it prompted the baby thought all the time. Where Kyle is like that parent who's stoned all the time and lets you do whatever you want. You know, so I think that's why. So I think of Kyle as my stoned dad, where I think of Rohan as a little baby that I have to take care of. So I think that's the reason, but I'm not 100% certain. You are kind of like the stoned dad. You're always like, whatever, or you laugh. Yeah. You're the audience of one. You laugh at all my shit. You guys laugh for the first time ever. That's good. From the forums, from Florida Stud. Good morning, Pack. With the amount of money EA must have paid for the FIFA extension and the mega 10-year Star Wars rights, the fact they have not publicly announced a renewed contract for Madden, what do you think the future of NFL games is? Can EA afford the Madden rights without significant increase in NFL's popularity? Who else do you think would be interested in paying the big bucks for exclusive NFL rights? Thank you. I think your presumptions are wrong. First of all, they didn't pay that much for the FIFA extension. They didn't pay that much for the Star Wars rights. Madden himself may not get renewed, I'm not sure, but the NFL games, the NFL's not getting more money from anybody. So unless you are a startup, you know, selling your rights to Facebook, no one's overpaying you. So the NFL is going to sell their game rights to the highest bidder. With the exception of video games, no intellectual property is licensed on a non-exclusive basis. I mean, everybody wants exclusives. The other one, I guess, is some TV shows are licensed to a lot of different people in the streaming window, but you're seeing more exclusives there as well. Games, though, historically have always been exclusive. It's not like, you know, that if you're making a movie-based game, there would be 3 different publisher is doing a Spider-Man game, or a Transformers game. That never happened. So why would sports be multiple licenses? The real reason that the sports leagues license is that they make some money on the license, but they also keep people kind of thinking about the game. And sports sim games, FIFA makes more money if people are following the players, buying player jerseys, going to matches. So that license, they're paying a lot, but they generate a lot of revenue. I mean, I would guess that license is close to $100 million a year, but that's 10% of sales. Star Wars, if you remember, Disney essentially got out of the game development business. They closed Junction Point. What was the name of the Warren Spector studio? Junction Point? Something. It had the word junction in it. Junction Point. Well, they closed Warren Spector Studio, the guys who made Epic Mickey. They've been de-emphasizing games. What was the other one in San Diego they closed? Anyway, they closed a couple studios. So they needed the license out, and that license, probably 15% of revenue, possibly 20, but my guess is 15. And again, it's part of the whole thing. It helps the Star Wars ride. It helps the Star Wars movie. I think that they, help sell Star Wars merchandise. So I think that EA will make money on that. And can they afford Madden rights? I don't think anybody's bidding on it. Take-Two, abandoned Major League Baseball because the license was prohibitive. They're certainly not going to pay up for an exclusive after their experience with baseball. I mean, yes, I think Take-Two would like to license it, and I think maybe the NFL will try to license to EA on a non-exclusive basis, and if they do that, EA will pay less. If EA wants an exclusive, they'll pay more. I don't think Take-Two will even bid, so we'll see. But if Take-Two chooses to bid, then maybe the fees go up. You need another competitor bidding, or the NFL has no real leverage. The NFL's never going to yank the license fee. They're getting something like $50 million combined between NFL and players. Those guys aren't going to let $50 million walk out the door. That's just not going to happen. Last I checked, I mean, it's like $8,000 or $10,000 per player. It's meaningful, So no, they're not going to let that go. So no, I don't think anybody else is going to pay, and I don't think EA is going to lose it. And the NFL license, I think, expires in 2017, so they've got some time. All right, fellow babies, thanks for joining us on this week's Pach-Attack. If you have any questions, please direct them to the link below. And if you have a question for Twitter, you can submit them directly to me at Michael Pachter on Twitter and include the hashtag AskPach. Thanks for joining us.
We can get just 10 seconds of the AC just a little bit louder today, just for the editors.
Sure.
And it will go off eventually. It just suddenly got warm outside.
Yeah.
It's like 86 yesterday. Where the hell did that come from?
So let's grab.
Isn't that wild? God, it was so nice last night. I was out with my doggies last night. My doggies like it when it's hot.
So if you want to read over the first one, we'll just get 10 seconds of silence.
Oh, just talk?
Oh no, just we'll get. I just want to get the AC, and that helps them edit if they get just the air conditioning noise.
Cool. That's good?
Okay.
Cool.